The whole this whole system, ladies and gentlemen, is changing. We are live from Long Island, New York. I was just saying to my lovely co-host Agnes Amisano that this whole system is changing. Like StreamYard is allowing for a lot, and I don't want to do an ad for them per se, but this is a great system in which we can put, videos in here. We can use the same studio over and over again. So now we can get people live on here and not have to send them a new link. It'll be the same link over and over again.
Okay.
We can now cut up a lot of our videos right from here within the system without going anywhere else. There are lots of great things happening on this program. But this is Love, Death, and Taxes, not an ad for StreamYard
On StreamYard,
streaming
yeah.
service. But I do think this is like a great system that we get to use. And so as a result, ladies and gents, you get to see us on YouTube. You get to see us on LinkedIn. We have to put you on Facebook afterwards because the truth is Facebook has now set up a thing where you can't go direct live stream to Facebook. And I think that's because it's an election year. I think afterwards they might reduce that. But right now they're very touchy about that. But because of that, you can see us in those places. You can see us on Spotify. You can see us on Apple Podcasts. You can see us on Amazon podcast. On you can ask Alexa and she'll talk to you about Love, Death, and Taxes as well. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the questions I've been holding on to because they can get a little prickly, right?
Just a
Race,
tiny bit.
religion, a little bit. Race, religion, and politics in relationships. No question. It's it's definitely a problem between people who are at work together. Definitely a problem between people who are just friends sometimes and just have different viewpoints. But for sure, it could become a problem in your relationship, right, Agnes? What do you think about
Absolutely.
race, religion, and politics? Should we even be talking about that stuff? I mean, how do you not?
Politics, finances, and religion. There are three forbidden subjects. That's the way I was raised. There are
Mm,
three forbidden subjects, especially in a family. In a relationship, it's a little bit different story. I would say just because when there's two partners, husband and wife, or partners itself, or friends, you need to know where you're standing to not to create any problems in life, right? When it
right.
comes, let's say, to religion, it's very helpful to have the same religion or at least respect each other's. That's what it comes to respect. Different. There's a lot of couples with different religions. One believes in this, another believes in that, and at the end of the day, it comes to tolerance, understanding, and respecting each other, each other's beliefs. My personal belief is no matter what religion you are, as long you believe that you're supposed to be a good person, do good in life, and not to hurt others, I think that's the major point. Doesn't matter how you call God. If you call him Allah, you call him Yahweh or whatever the name is. So comes to basics. Comes to basics. Um, Now, my personal beliefs when it comes to politics, um, I might be not everyone might like my point of view.
Right.
I don't share with everyone the same outlook on life from my close relationship with family members, my sisters, my husband. Even we belong to different parties. But we decided again that our life is more important, that we're
Yeah.
not going to sit and argue about it because if I'm going to create problems in my marriage, it's not going to be politics, because I don't see any politician coming and asking me, Agnes, listen, do you have enough money for your mortgage this month? How are you happy with your health care? Maybe I should do something to improve it. I don't see anybody coming and asking me that. It doesn't matter who they are. So, like, it's okay. Again, this is my personal thing. I do have
Yeah.
some dear subjects that and issues that they're close to me, to my heart, and I'm standing for them. That have my principles, right? But I'm not going to attack someone close to me just because they looking different way than I do, just because they don't have the same life experience uh, the way I do. See, I came from Poland. Immigration is extremely important to me, and I found that a lot of people that they are born here, uh, they have no understanding what immigrants have to go through. If you're listening to people, it's like, okay, door are open. There is such a thing as open borders, which actually there are not, because the only open border, from what I remember, is with Canada. And have you been to Canada?
Yes, I
Right.
have.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you just stroll in
You
without
can.
being
No.
stopped?
No.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. A lot of people really don't understand. You cannot just drive from here and go into Canada. There
Yeah.
is a blockade. There's a police. They have guns. They ask you for your passport. They ask you a bunch of questions, and you better be like an American citizen, because if you're not, they have all these. They'll detain you.
Yeah.
They search your car. They search your
Yes.
car. They search your vehicle.
So,
It's a whole
and
thing.
this is open border, and this is open border.
It's
There's
supposedly
one,
open.
yeah, yeah, supposed to be open. There are 26 countries on the list where they have easy access from their country to American to United States, not America, but United States.
Mhm.
Meaning, they cannot just buy a ticket. Poland was added a couple of years ago to that list. There is such a thing as ESTA visa, meaning you have to still, when you're buying your ticket, they will allow you to buy a ticket. They won't allow you to board the plane if you are not registered, if you don't show this
Right.
piece of paper that you
Right.
pay a few dollars for, that,
Yeah.
okay, I'm coming, and that allows you to stay up to 90 days,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
I
over.
remember when I was
Yeah,
when we were going to Poland for
yeah,
your thing. Yeah, yeah, I had to register. I had to let them know, hey,
yes,
I'm an American
yes,
citizen. I'm coming on there, and they give me a thing, and it wasn't 90 days. I think it was less than that. They actually told me it was a certain number of days, and I think it might be because I'm a naturalized citizen,
no,
also of
it's up
Jamaica.
to,
So
yeah,
who
it's
knows?
up
They're
to
like,
90.
they
Yeah,
have high level of entry.
it's up to 90 days. They
So
will give you different thing, maybe sometimes when they stamp your passport or whatever, but that's what it is. So
yeah.
there's again this open border concept, but you still have to register. And if you know what happens when you
Yeah.
overstay that 90 days, right? You know the penalty for
Yeah,
it?
they come for you.
No,
Yeah,
but
no. What is
they
there a
don't
parade?
come for you. They don't come for you. They don't come for you. But if you have a need to go back, guess what happens? They won't
I don't
allow
know
you back
what
for
is
10
what
years.
happened.
They won't allow you back for 10
Oh,
years. And not only
good
you,
stuff.
but your mother, your brother, your sister, your nephew.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So penalty is quite steep, right? Penalty is quite
Yeah.
steep.
Mhm.
That's the open border thing. Now,
Yeah.
talking about race, as a white woman from Poland when I immigrated,
Mhm.
guess what the vetting was for me, a woman who never, you know, I came. I had residence in another country, and then I came here. I had to
Okay.
provide fingerprints from every country that I lived in for more than 6 months, 6 months and up.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because they want to know if you have a criminal record. So same thing. I had lived in Jamaica. I had visited other places, but they were like, we need a clean record with your fingerprints, with everything, when you're emigrating here, to say that you have not committed any crimes or whatever it is. And if there was one crime on it, one crime, it would have
You're
been a
out.
problem. You can't
You're
come
out.
over.
You're
Yeah,
out. You're
yeah,
not getting
yeah.
residence.
And yeah, you're not getting rich. And this is a while. This is 30 years ago. This is 30 years ago. Much less today. Today they've got that special biometric business
Oh,
that
please.
not only takes your fingerprint, like it's a whole thing, your eyes and the whole, it's wild.
Yeah.
You
I
walk up to the thing and there's a camera looking at you, and it is counting all the points on your face to double check that you're the person who you say you are in your passport. You guys have no idea. People
there
just
is
run their
there's
mouth because they don't really travel.
And there's another thing. 6 months, every 6 months, I had to have my fingerprints done because if something will pop out, I'll
Wow.
be out. I'll be out. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I had no.
Took me
Hasn't happened.
9 years, 9 years to get residence, 14 years to get citizenship.
Wow.
That's the vetting. That's
Yeah.
the vetting.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
there's again right now, which is again a dear subject to me, DACA program. Do you know that those kids on DACA, they are not allowed to take student loans if they want to educate themselves? They have to pay out of their pocket. They
Like,
cannot
wow.
apply.
I didn't know that.
Whoever is waiting for green card, it is not allowed to apply for unemployment. They're not allowed to apply for any kind of assistance. Why? And you know what? I'm
Yeah.
not against that. I'm all for it. You know why? Because if you are joining a country, you have to show that you are an asset. You have to prove that you are an asset. You cannot come. Imagine that you're walking into, you're trying to be adopted into the family, right? You
Yeah.
come into
Right.
somebody's house and you want to stay over. You want to have room and bed and breakfast, called it, let's call this, and you're going to say, okay, now pay for my clothing, pay for my health care, pay for everything. Is that right? As a host, would you be happy? No. So yes, you coming, you have to be an asset, you have to show to be an asset. I'm all for it, it's great, but it really mm, gets under my skin when I'm hearing things as they just coming in and they staying, they take over our jobs, and mm. I don't wish upon anyone to go
Yeah.
through what immigrants are going through. I'm all for legal immigration myself. I'm all for legal immigration. Personally, I cannot imagine coming to the country illegally. I cannot imagine what kind of life is this, because you cannot provide any kind of future for your family. None, zero. Having scraps of some job under the table here or there, you cannot survive. You cannot survive. The cost of
Not
living
even
is
one. You
so
got to
high.
take three. This is the thing.
Yeah.
That was the thing that you used to say about Jamaicans all the time, that we have 3 job, we have 4 job, we have 5 job. And you know why? Because number one, you don't want to be caught in the one place. So you got to take 2, 3 jobs, right? But also because they pay so low, you
Yeah.
have to take multiples in order to make a living. And we were like, yo, I'm not going to be here and starve. I'm going to do whatever I have to do. It was so interesting. I drove a cab, and at nights on the weekends, I would do this newspaper thing. This is a long time ago. It's like I was 19, like early 20, whatever. And this newspaper thing, until I got the job at the law firm, and I would stuff these circulars into like a plastic bag, and then they would take them and how many you stuff is how much they pay you. And they would regularly, even though I had a green card, they would regularly short me and not expect me to go and complain at the office. Everybody else who was there, and ladies and gents, I'm sorry, there was a lot of Spanish people. There were a lot of a lot of different people from Muslim countries. From you could see that there were different people, and I would go and complain every time because I'm like, I know I put in 500 of these, so how come I'm getting paid less than that? Blah blah blah. And they would just look at me like, how dare you come in here? Well, maybe we have to get the authorities involved. And I was like, yo, get the authorities involved.
Yeah.
Nobody else would have done that
Mhm.
because they were all they might have not been legal and been afraid. And some of them did not even speak, they may not have spoken English as well as I did, right? But I was angry, and they were like, here's your last check, don't come back. After I sorted that out. But that's how they
Yeah.
treat you. They'll mess with you every time. And that's why you've got to take 2, 3, 4 jobs, because not only are you getting cheated, you're getting paid low, but now you're also feel people are going to take advantage of you because they feel like, oh, you're an immigrant, so you might be an illegal immigrant. And that
Yeah.
just wasn't the case for me. But I can't imagine how many of those people got robbed.
Yeah. So there's
That's
there's
an
one of the
interesting thing.
when it comes to
What
see
an
to
interesting
relationship.
tangent.
Yeah. When
Yeah,
it comes to
exactly.
relationship,
That's what
I
I'm saying.
think it doesn't matter how close. If this is your spouse, your children, your aunt and your uncle, your mother or father, um, in a relationship, those kind of issues that we have dear to us, but they don't mean anything else to somebody else because they have um, other things that there are other subjects that they're more important to them. They're more important to them,
Right.
which is fine. I
Of
fully
course.
respect that. It's freedom of speech. Okay. Everything is great. Please just don't attack me with that. If I can keep my mouth
Yes.
shut and let you talk and accept, okay, that's your point of view. I fully respect you. I think my life and my relationship is more important than risking it for to fight or argument with someone over that when my feelings for that person are much stronger and mean more than issues, political or religion or whatever that is. It's
And
not
here's the thing,
worth
the argument and conversation that you're going to have with them that may put a rift in your relationship doesn't move the needle one way or the other. Like you
it.
don't,
Exactly.
you winning that winning that argument, if you win it, right, you win it, is
Yeah.
not going to change the way the world is immediately, or I mean, unless you're having this argument with the president, right?
And
But
that's not
more than
gonna
likely,
change either. He's gonna do whatever he wants to do. Who the hell am I?
whatever
You know what I mean? It's like I don't see myself that powerful or influential.
do not sell yourself short. I think it is
I'm
possible
so
that
sorry.
you
I'm so sorry.
could
Let
bend
let me go set up an appointment, make that phone call. Listen, we
right
need to sit
now.
down and
That's right.
talk. They're waiting for my phone call. Both parties, absolutely.
Yes, get Trump and Kamala both on the phone
Yes,
before
yes,
the election. So,
absolutely. Let's talk. Let's talk, guys. Yes. And you know what?
but
I
yeah,
think actually that would be a good idea to have a conversation, not with a governor, not with senator, but with the regular Joe Schmo, and say, okay, how do you feel? How do you feel? How is this going? Because I feel like my group of people, it's being a bit of being ignored. You know,
yes,
I'm not old. I'm not very young. That's the way I feel. And shut up. So in being middle class, that's the way I see myself.
hmm,
And healthcare is becoming more and more important, and it's childcare. It doesn't affect me, by affect people close
exactly.
to me. That's very important. There's a lot of things that they're extremely important, and as
Yes,
an immigrant, immigration is very close to my heart, but at the same time, it gets me when I'm being begged and harassed at the station. Oh, because could you please, when I'm want to go to work, and I'm not exactly happy going, that morning, because I already think about the problems that I'm going to be facing at work, and being harassed by people that are being dropped off there, and they're begging for money. So
Oh, 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 okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes.
okay,
You know, that's the interesting dichotomy. It's a very interesting dichotomy because I have a Venezuelan friend, two Venezuelan friends, a family of Venezuelan friends. And recently they were in the news in Denver and Aurora, and they were so upset because they are, like me, people who came to this country illegally and started businesses, and they're doing whatever they're doing, and they're like, look at these people, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, so they're upset with their own countrymen, but at the same time they want their countrymen to have a better life coming here to Venezuela. So it's so interesting to hear the difference between someone who has made it, who is here in the same place that you and I are, around in their 50s, middle to upper class. They can be upper class if they worked harder. They're middle class for sure. And and legal.
I'm not gonna.
No, no, no. Well, oh, you know what? If he sees this, he'll know what I'm talking about because he's
Okay.
he's really good at opening businesses, but then he like takes a very long time to make them do what they want to do and whatever. And so it's an interesting thing. But whatever. The point is the point is that there are so many different viewpoints of this thing, and by the way, this is not what I thought this show was going to turn
It's
into. I
gonna go
thought we
what?
were going to talk
You didn't tell
about
me what
race.
the show will be about, so you knew it's gonna go, of course, didn't you?
Yeah, we went way off the rails. We have to do this again. We've got to go do part two because this is not what I expected to talk about at all. I thought we were going to talk about like a black girl and a white guy in a relationship and how that affects them, or a Trump supporter and a Kamala supporter in a
Well, we
relationship and
kind of
how that affects.
we kind of got to that part, but like, yeah, okay,
No,
yeah, okay, we can do part two, no problem. Okay,
no, no, no. Let's do what we're doing, and then we'll do this again, ladies and
yeah,
gents. I feel as though because we are coming in close to that election time, that we should probably cover some of these and talk about them. I can't imagine what it would be like to be in a relationship with someone who's completely on the opposite side. And I watch the news every day. I love the news. I watch the news every day, and I'm looking at the news, and I talk to the news, okay, because I see them saying things
so
which are
the
totally.
answer.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I think so, but not the same day. Like the
Okay,
next
okay,
day. Okay, so there's another problem for me.
that's
But
another
yeah,
that's another conversation. Yeah.
that's another issue. We'll do that next week. Is Ryan talking back to the news? That's the new content. But yeah, it's such an interesting thing where I can't imagine having to be in a relationship with someone who's completely different. But there's a lot of nuance in there. You know what I mean? This person might have abortion as their issue. This person has immigration as their issue. This person has trans as their issue. Honestly, what's interesting to me is that in politics, in a lot of politics, there are a lot of things that are coming into politics that should have nothing to do with your political, like the issue of abortion was settled so many years ago. It's so crazy that it's back, basically back on the ballot now, and it's now a conversation that we're going to be having again. Um, uh, uh, Same-sex marriage is back on the thing again because if, uh,
Why?
yeah,
Didn't we settle that everyone was happy, that they're supposed to be happy? Whoever is not happy never is gonna be happy. Let it go.
yeah,
Let people be who they want to be.
yeah,
Let them
we,
love who they want to love. What the hell?
yeah, We had the Supreme Court deal with it. Those are the people who we deal. Now we're just going to go back and undo everything. Are black people going to go back to being slaves? Are women going to lose the right to vote? What are we doing? It's crazy. I'm like, let's just go back and change everything
How do you think
to
I'm gonna look if I'm just gonna have to
yeah.
cover myself up and like,
We're gonna live in
hey, I don't have to worry about wrinkles. No, I don't see them.
everything.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. We're going backwards in a lot of aspects. We're going backwards, and you know what? I think being an original works better. If people will have their own principles and hold on to their own principles, not follow the masses. And it's like, oh no, this has to be it, and I'm going this way with a. How about concentrating on being a good person? How about concentrating on holding on to your principles? Why people need to have a need of attacking others
Other,
for their beliefs? Why there is
I
a need to putting people down because of their beliefs? If I'm shoveling my beliefs into your throat, is that what you're supposed to do to me at this point?
me
Exactly.
exactly. Why can't you just leave people alone? Why can't the people can't just handle their certain things? Listen, I get it. We need schools, we need education, we need whatever. So government has a place, but there's some things that seem like, wow, why are we navigating these things when we've already navigated them, we've already dealt with them, we've put them aside. As a society, we've moved forward. And if anybody says to you, oh, well, that's not what they do over here or over there, no, that's not true. Most of the progressive countries have long ago settled these issues, and we
Yeah.
settled them too. Now we're looking backward. Now we're looking like Hicks, like we're savages when places like France, and I'm not saying we should be like France. I'm not saying we should be like Poland. I'm not saying we should be like wherever it is in Europe or whatever. But I'm saying if those are the countries that have dealt with this already and they've moved past it, and we did that, why would we now decide, no, we're going to unravel all of that and go back and change it back? Why? Why does everybody feel so attacked by progress that basically says leave people alone? That's all it's saying. Leave people alone. In the country, in the land of the free, the home of the brave, in the land of the free, where they literally say the very first thing is you have rights. The
Yeah.
first 10, you've got a bill of rights. You have all these rights and they can't be taken from you.
Oh no,
But
apparently someone decided that it's so easy to change a constitution, which is complete bullshit, or take those rights away and take those freedoms away where they are being
yeah,
written
it's
by
not,
our
it's
founding
not.
fathers. So um, there is a lot of empty talk, a lot of empty promises, not much logic, and I think people should educate themselves. Like, I'm not saying that I'm one with everything right, but people who were born here, who were educated here, I expect a lot more from them, especially for people from
Yeah,
people that they're
absolutely.
running for very high positions. And throughout, like, I can't wait for the selection to be over, because right now TV is being overflowed with those ads and talking about people that I never heard of before. I never heard about them before, never
Yeah,
crossed paths with them, and it's like, oh, this one is good, this one is bad, this one is good, this one,
yeah.
everyone is good, everyone is bad. And the most funny thing about it, I never heard of them. What are
It's
they?
it.
Who are they? What they stand for?
Yeah,
What they supposed
you,
to do for me? They want my vote, but for what?
that's
It's
very interesting because a lot of the local races here in Long Island, you're right, you never hear of those people until it's about around election time, which means you haven't been doing your job. Because if I was familiar with you, if you were making a difference in my life on a regular basis, I would have seen your name in the news. I would have seen you in my community. I would have heard about something that you did, or so and so and so. I actually know all the people who are here local in my particular town. But when you go higher than that, like to state assembly or whatever, most of those people never heard of. And I see their ads on there. What was it, Mondaire Jones, I think, and one other guy. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
them now, and they keep coming. And the worst part is it's the attack ads I see. I'm not actually seeing the positive ads. I'm just seeing all the attack ones. Mondaire Jones is a puppet for so and so, and um, this person is radical and she was stealing money and wants to use it as her personal piggy bank. And I'm like, what?
Or
Who?
there's one ad that they throwing something at the guy from 20 years ago. I said, well, let's check what he was like in high school. Why not? If you bring stuff from 20 years ago, it was like
Yeah.
it completely doesn't make any sense. Throughout my life and living in Long Island, once I ran into one lady. I don't remember her last name, but her first name is Luba. And actually, I ran into her at the train station,
Mhm.
and I said, "Oh, I know you." I said, "I," because she I saw her ads on Facebook, and actually she was the only person that I was able to find things about her, about fantastic work that she was doing. And I talked to her, and she was so easy to talk to. Like, we never met face to face. I said, "But I know you," and like we start chatting.
Yeah.
And she actually did fantastic work. Some program she started for mothers, for working mothers, and it was great. Actually, this is the only lady that I didn't have to look for, and I found,
Right.
and the informations about her, and and about her family were so accessible, that this is the only person throughout all those years.
Mm.
That's
Says something about
not
her though.
not
Like
yeah,
she's
yes, but not
making,
not everyone is like Luba.
no,
So
no. It's actually
it,
very difficult sometimes
yeah.
to find information about anybody. And sometimes when you do, it's all this negative stuff in the press. Like, I don't know what you do if you live in New York City right now. Your mayor, your mayor is a problem.
And yeah, that's another issue. That's another issue. And I saw the same bins on in Manhattan, actually, that we saw in Paris and
Mm,
in Warsaw, and then they disappear. I wonder where they are. That was some time ago.
okay.
So yeah, whoever was drawing plans for Manhattan, they didn't take sanitation under consideration, because there is nothing like you going to a nice restaurant in Manhattan, and there is a pile of garbage in the front of it, and then you don't know what to smell aroma from the
The
restaurant
poor,
or the garbage. That's nothing makes you more hungry and more inviting than that. And then
and
why
watch out for
do
the
we have
rats.
rats? Why do we have rats? Why do we have crazy, I mean crazy people that I actually, I didn't tell my husband about it, but last few days ago, actually I was I was a little sketchy running to the train station, because this guy was too close for comfort, and he kept following me. A person that was not exactly in the right state of mind. So
Yeah.
I was ready to jump and save this one lady, because the guy was following some lady, and he tried to set her hair on fire. So I was
Whoa.
ready to push her, but he shut up, with the lighter. Can you imagine?
No, no, I do.
Middle of the day. Why? Why?
I want you to
Why there's
think. You're like, okay, how does this even happen? But the number of people in a square mile in New York City is more than any other place that we know about in the United States, right? It
True.
is the most number of people. And a percentage of those people are going to be cuckoo, and I say cuckoo because, but the truth is they're off. They are, they're, maybe they have an imbalance. Maybe they are uh, sociopaths. Maybe there's going to be a certain number of the population that is those people. So unfortunately, when you're packed into that amount of space with them, you're going to see them. And then unfortunately, even the fact that we have that many people together brings that out in some people too.
Then
So
let me tell you this.
run.
In in over 2 decades, over
Mhm,
2 decades of me traveling to office in Manhattan,
mhm.
in the last few weeks, I see more in a small few blocks. I see more crazy people than I saw
Wow,
them last month.
wow, wow.
And I take under consideration everything you say.
Yeah,
But from my experience, there's like
it's
being
increasing.
taken everyone from the subways being pushed out to you know to the surface,
Right,
and
right.
and they are there.
Hmm.
It came to the point, I'm not going to get into details, but now when I'm walking on sidewalks, I'm looking in what I'm stepping, because there is thousands of people on their phones and they're not looking what they're stepping in, and trust me, you don't want to step into that. And there is quite often I see on weekly basis the same surprise in the same place, so I just walk to the other side. So please tell me what is going on.
Yeah, I do not
And
know that.
hey, let's get our mayor and on the show and talk to him about that. I'm sure he'll be very happy to come and
Oh,
talk to us.
I think
So
he's busy. I
I'm
think
sure he said he's not surrendering. He's gonna run this city. So let's talk. Let's talk. I'm sure he will find some time.
Oh my gosh. I see a lot of Long Island people very upset with him. And I'm like, why are you so upset? And I think it's partially because of what you're saying, that many of them actually do work in the city. But then I see a lot of them who I know own businesses out here, who work out here, but they're very upset with the mayor in there. And the truth is, nobody likes the sitting mayor of New York City. That never happens. It's after he's gone, you might hear them say, yeah, Ed Koch was the greatest, or Rudy Giuliani was the greatest. And he's changed that now. But everybody, while they're actually there, nobody
People that you
likes.
surround yourself with, it's
Yeah,
very important, and that's what
very
happened to
important.
Rudy.
Listen, not just one of the greatest decisions
It
you're going
was
to make is
fantastic.
who you
It
get
was
married to.
fantastic. I arrived to New York when under his reign, and let me
Which
tell
one?
you, cops were under
Todd
Rudy.
or
Cops,
Giuliani?
no, Giuliani, and cops
Okay.
were praising him on the street. There, I mean, like seriously, there was so much police presence that people were safe. People were
Hmm.
safe. He was one of the most beloved mayors,
Yeah.
and I used to hold him in a very high regard. I
Yep,
really did.
yeah, yeah. He completely destroyed his legacy, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
But yeah, he
watch
was.
who you're surrounding yourself with. That's all.
Yeah,
That's you know.
that you get yourself in trouble. Not
People
to
can,
say,
yeah,
not. Mhm.
relationships. They can
Yes,
either elevate you or pull you down.
absolutely, absolutely. Be very careful about
Yeah,
who you're dealing with and who you're handling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to apologize. Okay, don't. We got off on this tangent, but sometimes it's good to get off on tangent because we have these great conversations as well. Because this was still a great conversation. I love it, Agnes. I love it. Love chit chatting with you. But I know what we were going to be talking about isn't necessarily what we covered today. We covered some of that. So we're going to do this again next week. Race,
you got it.
religion, and politics and relationships. Can we talk? how we talk about that. Because I literally have all these questions here from people. Look at this great question that you will hear an answer from Agnes from next week. Hi, Agnes. I'm really passionate about social justice and activism, but my partner seems uninterested and sometimes even dismissive of my efforts. It's making me feel unsupported in what I care about most. How do we navigate this difference without me feeling like I'm on my own? And it's from Taylor. So next week, we'll deal with that, talk about that. I'm
You
hoping to
got
see
it.
you at that time. All right, ladies and G's, this is Love, Death, and Taxes. If you are looking for, if you want to send us some information, or you want to uh, uh, basically send out a question, or you're looking for do you want to send us a new topic, you're going to send that to mailbag@lovedeathandtaxes.com. We're here, we're listening to you. If you need some tax resolution assistance, because hey, I think you got about 5 days, maybe 4 days now, for the deadline. If you got an extension at this point, you want to talk to Agnes at nytaxresolutions.com. Go ahead and check that out. And we'll see you here again next week, same time, same station. Like and subscribe. We'll see you again. Love, Death, and Taxes. Bye bye, Agnes.
Bye bye.
All right.